My name is Romeo Durscher. I'm the Senior Director of Public Safety Integration here at DJI. And over the past almost 5 years, I have been focusing on how can drone technology get integrated into public safety, fire, law enforcement, search and rescue, and also now EMS, emergency medical systems. They all have tremendous opportunities to utilize drone technology. But we also have great opportunities to learn what are the needs and how would drone technology be integrated in those verticals so we can help save lives but also mitigate risks to our first responders. Yes, Texas is a very advanced state when it comes to drones in public safety. It's one of the top 3 states in the United States. We are seeing many departments already utilizing drone technology and doing amazing things with it. And if you really look at the top 3-4 states, we have California, we have Texas, we have Florida, they're also prone to natural disasters. And so it absolutely makes sense to have that technology available when you need it. What we learned over the last couple of days is really that this market is still very young and there's still lots to learn on both sides. For us, learn better integration techniques. For the other side is how can we best utilize this new technology? There's so many applications. And now we're crossing over also into oil and gas. And that's very fascinating because when we do have natural disasters, it doesn't just stop right in front of a plant. It will also impact a plant. And those plants are trained to have emergency responders on site, but there's always an overlap with the community, with other agencies. And so starting that discussion and that learning experiences on how all of this can work in the future is extremely important. So there have been many takeaways and a lot of understanding and learning has happened over the last few days. And thanks to LinkedAll, we've been able to connect these different dots with each other and also get to meet face to face. And I think that's been extremely helpful and important. That's a very good question. So yes, we're still very early on as an industry. Granted, the last 3 years we've seen a huge adoption rate of drone technology in public safety. We've also gotten a much bigger understanding that these platforms are not only for a specific incident, but they're also pre and post incident. And we've learned that they can be used outdoors as well as indoors. So we're constantly learning about the use cases. And with that comes also the need for additional solutions. And at the end of the day, the majority of drone usage is data driven. This is a data collection device. So if we stream a live video of an incident, if we do a surveying or mapping mission, it's all based on data. How can we take that data, quickly process it so that we have actionable data in a very short period of time? That's the goal. And of course also then the deeper integration, because it's not just a drone and an operator. If you want to do it well and if you want to really get the most of it, it's a bigger setup. So how do we stream that live view to an incident command center that can view it and make decisions right there and then, communicate that back to the operator for maybe different viewpoints or flight patterns? All of this is a much bigger integration component than 3 years ago, what we thought 3 years ago. So there's definitely a lot that we still can do. And learn. So we live in fascinating times. Yeah, we have learned so much with all the different departments that we've been working with. One thing that I always say is start small. Start with 1 or 2 use cases. Maybe it's accident reconstruction. Just focus on that. Maybe it is Overwatch. Just focus on that. Start small. Start with small platforms. You can always scale up, but get comfortable with the technology, with the capabilities, and get some wins under your belt. It's much easier when you have a few really good use cases where you can go up to leadership or to the mayors or county officials' offices and you can showcase what the team has done. That's definitely the best way to get started. And if you're unfamiliar with the whole environment, what needs to be done, don't try to reinvent the wheel. there is a department close by that has gone through the process already. Connect with them, network, learn from their lessons learned. It will help you in your program dramatically. And if you really don't know anyone, get in touch with LinkedAll or DJI. We will gladly make connections for you so you can learn from other first responders on what has worked and what hasn't worked. Data security is something that we all need to take serious, and at the DJI we are taking this serious. We have several solutions in place that protect your data, but first and foremost, this is your data and you are in control of it. If you don't share your data, there is nothing going outside of an AWS server here in the United States. If you do share your flight log data, let's say you have maybe two different drones with two different operators and you want to combine the flight logs with each other, there's a feature that you can do. If you sync that, it will be synced onto an AWS server here in the United States. So there's no data going to China despite all these claims. We have done cybersecurity assessments and we continue to build upon various different data safety features. We're also very engaged in the community because we understand we do need proper standards when it comes to that. And a lot of them are not present yet. And they can also be different. For example, a federal entity may have a much higher data security standard than a local fire department. But we need to establish those standards. They need to be known, and then any manufacturer can manufacture their products according to those standards. And that's extremely important. But as of right now, we do have solutions in place if you need extra data security. We have local data mode where you can turn off any connectivity from your smart device to either a Wi-Fi or LTE connection. We have government edition for these more complex departments, mostly on the federal level, where they can keep their own data sets on their own servers. So we are actively engaged in those discussions. We have to move away from the origin concerns. We are a global company. DJI is all across the world. We have challenges everywhere that we're trying to address and work with locally. This has really become a solution that has helped all across the world. And we have saved over 300 lives, documented lives by drones already. Those are tremendous wins for everyone involved. We're able to mitigate risks to not only first responders but inspection teams. We're able to change workflows to be more effective and more impactful. Right. So this technology is not going to go anywhere, but it's also all of our responsibility to find the standards, to define them, to make them known, so then anyone can build their solutions towards those standards. Yeah, thanks for having us, and we want to be as transparent as possible. And I know if people have questions, they can always contact LinkedAll, and if they need additional documentation or information, you know how to get in touch with us. So thank you for the partnership and the support, and I think 2020 will be another very successful year in how drones can really make a big impact in daily life.